Greetings and welcome to the fourth review in our 2018 Christmas Santa series. Again, we have our good friend Luca here.
Hi guys.
And it's our aim to do all 12 together. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Today we're going to look at the, as I said, the fourth cigar in the review series, which is the Punch Punch.
Yep.
Have a look at it. I don't know if you could see that with a light. Maybe you can't, but that's what it looks like. It's a 46 ring gauge by 143 millimeter cigar, which is called the Corona Gorda. Very popular Vitola, mainly because it's sort of as medium sized, but if you think about the way Cuban cigars have gone in terms of their ring gauges, this is more on the small side.
Compared to the other ones out on the market.
Yeah.
Pretty well constructed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the cold draw has that wonderful Cuban twang. Yeah. I think of Cuban twang, which we'll talk about later. Yeah.
Got a bit of zing to it. It's nice.
With that citrus tart flavour.
Mm.
Anyway, we're going to come back and light this up and smoke through it. Welcome back, and we've lit it up, and I was just saying to Luca off air, when the camera's turned off, that I had to stop myself puffing about 4 times.
You're eating it. You're loving it.
I was. The first thing I was thinking about when I smoked it was, this is a sort of cigar that you give to someone that knows Cuban cigars that might not have this all the time, and say, here, try this.
This is special.
Yeah.
This is my first, and I was pretty wowed when I took my first draw of it. Really nice spice throughout on the palate, especially, and a little bit through the nose. It was more pronounced in the palate, and a mild coffee undertone throughout, which was really, really interesting.
So prior to doing the review, Luke and I were talking about the history of this cigar, Punch Punch, and there was a fair bit to talk about, which we'll talk about in this review. Just interesting things that it's good to share and to know about. And one of those things was that the Punch Punch, or recent Punch Punch, tends to leave experienced cigar smokers, and going off the forum here, with 3 sort of reactions. Number one, they're woody and bland. And yes, sometimes there's been batches over the years in the past 5 years that have been like that. Number 2, they're herbal, they're earthy, they're vegetal. And number 3, they're the embodiment, or what it means by Cuban twang. If you think of a cigar that's Cuban twang, that Cuban twang being talking about the minerality that's in Cuban soil that makes it more acidic, or
the richness that the soil has, how they rejuvenate it, and give it that quality,
that red colour and the flavour that's more like a citrus tart. Think of it like that. And so the third flavour I was talking about was that Cuban twang, the spice cream, the wood, the leather. So I haven't smoked enough of it to give it a final conclusion of what that flavour is, but I think those 3 tend to be the main things that people get out of them.
Started off great though. It's still getting a lot of pepper, a lot of spice.
Yep.
It's just intense, really good. What are you getting?
I'm getting that spice cream. There's no doubt about that that you're talking about, but I'm certainly enjoying that the Cuban twang that I was talking about. That's quite evident in this Punch Punch, and also I've also picked up, interestingly enough, I think the closest thing to a Punch Punch, in case you're wondering, would be Punch Double Corona. And certainly Punch Double Corona, I have picked up either one of the 2 reactions to a Punch Double Corona, and that is the wood, or the blandness, or the spice cream and the Cuban twang. I like the Punch Punch, but this is more in keeping with how these have been since 2016. So we were talking before about the last 5 years. Punch Punch sort of it wasn't as hot as it is, I guess, in the last year or two on our forum. They weren't the batches weren't as popular.
They weren't consistent.
They weren't as consistent. No, I don't think so. But they sort of came back into their own maybe 2014, 15, more so 2016 onwards.
Okay.
So much so that I can tell you a couple of stories. Of Anafon in 2015, El Prez had some blind cigars that he gave out to everyone, and they were really, really, really nice. And I do remember
2017.
I know.
That was the Epi one in 2017.
No, this was before
the blind. Yes, before that, the blind. What was that?
That's 2015. He gave out some other ones. So that's 2017.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, he gave out the Epi one then, but the 2015 one, folks. He gave out I think 4 cigars, and 2 of them had bands. If I recall, maybe not. Maybe maybe they were all blind tasting. Maybe they might have been all blind tasting. But I do remember quite vividly that 2 of them were the H. Upman number 2 and the Punch, and they were quite a hit. Both, quality cigars that cigar enthusiasts don't necessarily reach for all the time. Because if you go for a Corona Gorda, what do you tend to go for if you go for a Corona Gorda? Probably a Mag 46 or something like that.
Around that size, you get a bit of time out of it so you can sit down and enjoy it. Yeah.
And if you go for a torpedo, I think what you're going for is like a Monty 2 or
Monty 2 or a H. Upman. Yeah. I like the torpedo format. You get you don't have to deal with the ring gauge.
True.
On the end, yeah.
It's a bit better on the mouth. That's right.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So, just while we're going through the first third there, the other thing I wanted to tell you is further that the next year a couple of members of our forum went to Cuba with Rob, and he had a lunch, and basically what happened was that he had a blind tasting there, and
what was it?
I think the figures were something like in the high 80% people voted that it was the Punch was the best, but they didn't know what they were smoking. Yeah, it's funny. It's a funny story. And it was pretty similar to 2015 of Anafon. It was just a cigar that people really connected with. That they didn't necessarily
people would know cigars would connect with it. Yeah.
So that's
like you mentioned. Before. I mean, I wouldn't give it to someone this type of cigar someone that's pretty new to it.
Yes.
I mean, I generally steer to the Monte Cristo range usually.
Yes.
I find new people can relate a lot to that. I've got a friend at work who is starting to get into it. I gave him a Meteor Corona, and before they never enjoy. He liked cigars, but he wouldn't enjoy all of it, for example. And he smoked the whole thing, and loved the notes that he could relate to: coffee, nut, espresso.
Yes.
So that's what I opt for. But something like this is really special. It's very unique.
Yeah. So you would agree this is the
connoisseur's kind of
choice. Yeah, this is a cigar to give the connoisseur, and the Monte Cristo is to give the guy that's new to it.
Yeah, nothing wrong with Monte. No, it's just I think more people relate to it.
Absolutely.
In general.
So what we're going to do, folks, is we're going to leave it there for now and come back when we're well into the middle third and see how the cigar's progressing. Welcome back. Well, we're well into the second third now, and let me just show you something about my cigar. It had a little bit of lightning, tunneling, and it was burning more around the bottom and the sides more than the top. But I just know from experience. Just wanted to share this with you, just to let it go, see if it corrects itself. Because I'm
You'd be surprised.
Yeah.
I'm always tempted to touch up, which I shouldn't after seeing what you do.
Yes.
You'd be surprised how it can autocorrect.
Have a look at this, folks. Burns fine now, and I just let that go, and that's corrected itself, and it's fine. So just a little tip: if you have an issue where you feel like you've got to autocorrect, next time just
give it a chance. See what happens.
Don't char it. If you can avoid it, don't char it. That's my tip.
That was surprising because that looked almost to the point where I thought, nah, it's not going to correct, and then just giving it some more attention when you were smoking it, John, it just then it just lit up and corrected itself.
Absolutely.
Pretty good.
So let's talk about how this compares to. So there's 4 Vitolas left in the punch market. Sadly, a lot have been deleted over the years, but the 4 that are left are the Punch Double Corona, the Punch, the one we're smoking today, the Punch Petite Coronation, which is a small Menudo size, and the Punch Coronation. And both Punch Coronation and Punch Petite Coronation, I think it is, both come in tubos.
Yep.
So how does this compare, you reckon, to those cigars? Because you've had your share of them. I've had my share of them years ago.
Yeah, I started off with them with my friend Harry, who's his name's Dirty Harry on the forum, and we smoked that regularly. There was some local tobacconists in our area that stocked them fairly frequently, and the novelty of a tube was interesting thing at the time, and that was probably 8 years ago, more. And I remember pretty clearly that the coronations and petite coronations had that woody, like a nice woody kind of flavour, a bit of that, and then later on, around the halfway point, that leather taste came through. It wasn't an unpleasant leather. I mean, it is not for everyone, I'd say that.
Yeah.
But a nice leather taste, and just a very, very, very mild nut slash mild coffee just undertone throughout. But only on some. Some I just get wood and leather, and that's it.
Yeah.
And some of the other ones I get like a tiny bit of that coffee nut as well coming through. So.
Would you say, in the big scheme of things, and we'll talk about this again while we were off air or when the camera was turned off. See, my opinion about the Petite Coronation and the Punch Coronation is they're like the cheap and cheerful of the punch market.
The
like,
punch range,
yeah. Like a Partagas Millefleur or a Romeo Julieta Millefleur or a H. Upmann Regalius or Jose or Pedro Chicos or
the Petite Cetros,
Petite, that's it.
Yeah.
So, and they're not bad in themselves, but they are what they are.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. This is different to that.
This is another echelon, another step up. I'm getting some cream now, some nice touch of cream, and still that the spices died down. It was really intense in the beginning.
Yes.
Nice cream, a little bit of nut coffee. I'd say, like, as you can see with all the smoke output, with that, I find with that cream combination, I'd always say it's like a chewy smoke. It's really, really, really pronounced. So, I'm liking it for my first one.
I got to say, I'm going to make a big call now. I think this is up there as my favourite so far out of the 4 that we've tried, and even more than the H. Upmann Connoisseur, and I love those. And the other 2, the Juan Lopez No. 2 and the Romano 1, especially selected, they were just a bit stronger than what I liked them at that point. They're okay. They were fine. I did like them, but this is I really enjoying this. I'm finding I could retrohale this quite easily.
Yeah.
There's a beautiful spice through the nose, folks. If you reach for this, give it a go. If you retrohale, you'll see what we mean.
Even at the beginning, I was retrohaling, and when the spice on the palate was also pretty intense, and the spice on the nose was just very smooth. It wasn't overpowering. It was really, really good. Yeah. I'd like this. I still, and I think even though I have a soft spot for punch because I started off with it when I was starting to smoke with my friend. I like this. I'd say in terms of the flavour profile, it's really good. Probably, on par with my favourite so far. My favourite's still the Jail No. 2.
Yeah,
I really love that.
Well, I want to just share something about that with everybody. I was still laughing about your retrohaling of that. I'm going to put that up on the forum at some point. Because I tip off my hats to anyone that can retrohale a Jail 2 that young. I really
just got to get used to it.
My respect for you's gone up another notch there, Luca. You get used to it, yeah.
Get more bang for your buck. So, but this, brilliant. if I had time, I mean, in the mornings, this would be a great cigar to have with a coffee. I'm having it now, coffee and some water.
Yeah.
Great morning cigar. The strength we didn't talk about, but the strength I'd say mild. Mild. It's not knocking us about.
Mild, medium.
Yeah, it's pleasant. Yeah, it's mild. Yeah, no more than medium. Yeah.
No way.
And we're getting to around the halfway point almost, and I haven't felt it pick up or change in the strength either. So yeah, really well. I'd say really well balanced smoke.
I just think that spice cream is just beautiful. Just really loving it. The other thing I wanted to mention during the middle third is let's talk about the Punch 48 for those of you that have had that last year when it came out, 2017. What's the difference between this and Punch 48 in your opinion?
Punch 48 I've only smoked around 2 or 3. It's more of a dry nut. There's a dry nut element to it that's there as well. And I think, what did I mention before? I think there's a dry nut.
Very toasty.
Toasty that's
and
it, yeah. Toasty, it's dry toast if you were to eat that and with that nice nut on there. So that was consistent throughout it.
Yeah.
And
it's a good cigar for the release that it is. I did enjoy them too.
It's mild to medium. It's mild to medium as well.
I had a 10 count box and probably smoked 5 and put the other 5 away, see how they develop. But yeah, it's mild to medium. It's also about the same strength, but
yeah, the same. What ring gauge is it again? It's
a Mossos number 3. That one. That is 48 ring gauge by. I think off the top of my head, something like 140, which is this slightly. It's around the same size. This is 46 ring gauge, slightly smaller, but 143 in length, Corona Gorda.
Yeah.
So not too different.
Yeah. And mine, this is burning so well. Even just touching the near the cherry, it's not super hot.
Correct.
It's because I always know if you touch it and it stings you a bit, like that, it's heating up. But this has been pretty good as well, which is helping with that cool smoke coming through, and that affects the retro health as well, in my opinion.
Yeah. Anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to smoke into the last third and give our conclusion of the cigar, what we think, and we'll come back then. Welcome back, and we're into our last third. And folks, I just wanted to share with you that look at that. After I didn't touch it up, it's just come really good. I'm probably going to ash that now because
it's going to fall.
Yeah, it's going to fall. I just know from experience. So
yeah,
there it goes. It's brilliant. It's brilliant. Excellent.
Very very solid ash. Really well constructed. So for me it's still the spice has died down. It's still there. Creaminess is the same. It's still prominent, and probably just picked up a little bit in strength, but not much around this point now. Okay. What are your thoughts?
It's been consistent. It's picked up a little bit in strength, but that beautiful spice cream has been just gorgeous throughout, and
and the retro
still lovely. The retro, it's lovely.
Yep.
Really enjoyed this immensely. I can see myself loving it.
I knew from the start when you first lit it, and John lit it before me, and he was, yes, this is, and I just knew he was already in love with it.
It's true. I was saying to you, I've got to stop smoking it. I've just puffed too much at the beginning, and I got a bit excited.
Always. Well, I mean, we've only been smoking. I've been trying to keep up. We've only been smoking this cigar for 10 minutes. I'm kidding.
Not quite.
But no, it's really pleased with this. Really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're going to end up putting these videos up on the forum, and if you feel like writing back what you get out of them, please feel free to comment what you get out of this when you smoke it. Us two, we've really enjoyed them. We were more of of those 3 types of reactions. The number 1, wood and bland. Number 2, earthy, vegetal and herbal, or 3, leather and cedar and spice cream. Definitely, for me, it's a 3rd. I really love this.
Yeah.
And me personally, I've got 5 in a split that I haven't touched from their December 2014. I haven't touched them yet, so they're 4 years old, and I've got
that'd be interesting to see what
they are.
that tastes like.
Absolutely, and I have a 50 cab in my OLH. When the deletions were announced, I got a 50 cab beforehand.
Smart.
It's very important to get a 50
Smart
cab,
man,
folks. If you can find a 50 cab of Punch, do yourself a favour. Don't hesitate. Get them, and then worry about paying for them later. That's
year.
They were 2016 that year. That was really good. Yeah, they were 2016s. I was very fortunate.
That's special. Yeah, they're good to put down for a while.
Oh yeah, yep. So they're down for 2 years. So give them another 2 years. Get them in 2020, 2021, and go through them then. I think.
Yeah.
Or if, that's me.
Yeah. Or if you've smoked ones that are a lot older, it would be interesting to hear your thoughts as well.
Yeah. They are, and one thing I enjoy. Just a last comment before we close off the review. One thing I enjoy on our forum is people on the odd occasion that love Punch as a marker. They talk about the Punch Raw Selection number 11 and the Super Selection number 2. They were Corona Gordas. Were even better than the Punch. This is going back 20 years before they were deleted. Punch was a marker that had a lot of cigars in it. There was some real quality Punch there that unfortunately no longer around. But thankfully we have the Punch and Punch Corona still around. And when aged, they're fantastic, I think. Even young like this.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah. It's great. It's great fresh. I mean, I'm assuming this is 2017 code or 2018.
I think all the Christmas samples are young.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're going to leave it there. Thanks for joining us today, and until next time, happy smoking.